Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for dialing in on this Thursday night. I promise we're going to be try and get more regular and more consistent with these. We just need to make sure that we're in a place with good internet on Thursday night. So we're in Western Sydney at the moment, so the internet's quite good here. Okay, so tonight's subject is going to be on tracking your income through your back office. It's something that everyone probably should start doing once you increase in rank. I think we sort of started tracking our income, or I started tracking our income when we hit silver, which was probably, I don't know, 12, 18 months ago, something like that. And it just gives you a really good history of what's happening in your team, what things are working well. You know, you can look back at different promotions that you might have done, or when BOGOs were on, for example, and you can see what's happening with your volume. And it also helps with your tax at the end of the year. Once you get up into that silver rank, you do need to provide doTERRA with a tax file number, with your tax file number, so that they can withhold tax, so you don't get a sneaky surprise at tax time when you need to go to the accountant and sort it all out. So just on that as well, don't be worried that you're going to get slugged with a big tax bill on this. The beauty of having a doTERRA business is that you can write off quite a lot of stuff on tax. Now, I'm not an accountant, so don't take this as accountant advice. But for example, last year, we were able to write off basically our whole income as on expenses. Excuse me. Tell her to turn it off and go to sleep. 2 parents doing Zoom meetings, and someone's decided that the iPad's a great idea while they're going to sleep. Okay, so yeah, just going back to that. So yeah, we were able to write off all our income last year on tax. So you can basically write off things like travel, accommodation, meals, as long as you can attribute those to doing a workshop or somehow making yourself an income. So I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. Your accountant will give you more information on that if you do need it. But yeah, you know, if you travel to from Grafton to Coffs Harbour, for example, and you go down there to have a meeting with someone about doTERRA, you can obviously charge your kilometres. You can charge your lunch if you sat down with that person, had lunch with them. If you had to stay the night in a town before you drove home again, you can charge that. So you just got to be a bit sensible about it, not go too overboard. But yeah, certainly you're able to write off a lot of stuff, not to mention, you know, stationery, you know, hiring an office in your house, which I know our accountant does, things like that. So don't get too worried about that tax file number, Bizzo. Okay, so going back to the subject of managing your income. So what I will do is I'll just go in and share screens, and I'll share this one, for example, now. So everyone should be able to see our back office, hopefully. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see the back office there. Cool. Now, I'm not going to go in and show you any team information. That would be a little bit sensitive, but I'll just let you know that this is our back office. We're not too concerned about people seeing it. You know, we've been to other trainings and you see people's back offices and you go, wow, you know, look how many points they got, look how much volume they got. And you think, yeah, that's awesome. But, you know, we don't go spruiking it around and telling everyone that, oh, so-and-so's got, you know, so many points in their cart and whatever. But what you need to do to start tracking your income is basically get a copy of this spreadsheet. So can everyone see that spreadsheet pop up? It's an Excel spreadsheet. maybe I need to go share. Okay, I'll go stop share and I'll go share the spreadsheet. How about that? Okay, share. Cool. Everyone should be able to see that one now. It says doTERRA 18-19 financial year. Yes? Cool. Okay. So I didn't make the spreadsheet up. I can't claim it. I think I got it from either Ura Auckland or Paul Ovens. It's all freely available. These people who are in other teams freely share their spreadsheets with everyone else, which is really awesome. This spreadsheet is a particularly good one just for basically putting in some pretty basic sort of stats every month, so that you can see where you're at. So this is our spreadsheet for the financial year 2018-2019. I've got one for last year as well, and I think I've got half one from the year before. But what I do is just go in there, and I don't do it every month. To be honest, I put all these figures in to this spreadsheet last week. I hadn't done anything for July, August, September or October. But just be aware that doTERRA's back office doesn't go forever. So you do need to be on top of this sort of roughly every 3 months and put your figures in so that you don't lose the figures. So what it does, it's got your dates across the top, your months across the top, starting in the tax year from July through to June. The second row is the ranks at the end of the month. Now this is just for information, so we just put in our rank that we achieved every month so we can see where we were. So as you can see, we've been platinum for 4 months. Our OV, because I was lazy and I didn't check at the end of every month, I don't know what our OV was at the end of those months. I need to get back on top of that. So what it means is just on the 30th or 31st of the month, just go in there and go, oh yeah, okay, pretty close to the end of the month. I mean, you don't have to do it at midnight, but you can just put it in there and go, this was what our OV was. Current team size is once again, it's a nice to have, and it's something that you manually have to go in and put in at the end of every month. And as you can see, I've not been able to do that. You can go back and recalculate that, which I'll do, and I'll show you how to do that shortly. New member count comes out of your back office as well. LRP rate is another report that you can find. I'd have to think about how I get that, but there is a report that you can go in there and do to get your LRP rate, and that one's quite interesting to go and do. And I guess the reason that you might use that is that if you do promotions within your team to try and encourage people to get onto LRP or to use LRP, you can use this here to track how successful your promotions have been, if you like. So I know last year we did a big LRP promotion and we went from 50-something% of people on LRP up to about 70%. It's certainly dropped well below that now, and we need to do some more work around that. But that's just a little for information thing. And then the main income boxes, the reason we've got 5 fast start rows there is it because some months can have 5 weeks in them and you get paid your fast start weekly. So what we do is we just go in and punch our fast start in weekly. Once again, as I said, I've put all these figures in just in 10 minutes because I went back through the previous reports and punched them in. It doesn't take long. And then down below that, you've got your retail profit, which we don't have any. I don't think anyone's ordering retail on our accounts. Your uni level, which is your main income once you start to extend up in your ranks. Preferred member bonus is nothing. Power of 3, as you can see, we're not getting our power of 3 at the moment, which is something that we really need to work on, and we want to encourage our teams to work on as well. We've done heaps of other videos about power of 3, but yeah, that's certainly something that we need to work on because it is a steady monthly income that you can add in there. Empowerment bonus, there's nothing in there, and leadership bonus is something that you get when you reach the rank of silver. So that's basically tapping into doTERRA's leadership or I guess worldwide profits, which they very generously distribute to their leaders of silver and above. So as you can see, our income is, I guess, fairly evenly distributed between Fast Start. Fast Start's probably a lesser amount. So if you're looking at the totals here, we've got about, for this year only, we've got about $3,400 from Fast Start, which will be the main part of your income in your early days. And then as you extend through the ranks in doTERRA and get a bigger team, the uni level and the leadership bonus will become a larger part of your income, as you can see there. The other thing I did was, there's some other columns here. So diamond performance, obviously we're not diamond yet, so we don't get the diamond performance bonus. The other column or the other row that I added here was the Diamond Club reimbursement. So last year we were reimbursed for some of the kilometres and accommodation that we claimed through Diamond Club, which we needed to report to the ATO. So I just added that column in. And then at the bottom, there's just a monthly add up. So I've got a column add up per month, which says that you earned $4,206.34 in the month of July, and so on and so on. And there's also a yearly total over here as well. So it's something you can just quickly go in and look at and go, oh, geez, my Fast Start's really dropped down this month compared to last month. Or, my uni level's really dropped off. You can just look at things like that and go, oh, and if you see some sort of trends happening, you can look at it and go, what can I do to fix that? Or what have I done to cause that? Or, if things have really spiked up, you can go, oh, my Fast Start's really spiked up. Oh, that's because I've run a heap of workshops last month. And obviously I've got a lot of Fast Start off that. So it's really, really handy, not only to look at for this year, but also to look at for past years as well. So we can go back to last year and we can look at December and January and say, okay, the early part of December was really good. Then the back end of December was really quiet. January is very quiet, and you can look at it and go, oh, okay, so January this year is really quiet. Okay, it's the same as last year, nothing to worry about. It's just everyone's on holidays and no one's spending money. But, if you looked and had a really big October last year and you had a really quiet October this year, you might look at it and go, what did I do differently, or what might have changed to cause that? And hopefully everyone's is, increasing every year, not decreasing, and I'm sure it will be. But you can look at trends like that and you can see that, January every year is a quiet month. Now, the way that you get these figures in here is, I'll stop sharing that and I'll go back to sharing the back office when I can find it. I think it's that one. Okay, can everyone see the back office again? Just give me a thumbs up. Cool. So what you do is you go into your dashboard, the dashboard tab, and you go into your commission summary. So you click on that. So what you can see in there is a little graph of your commission summary. Can everyone see that graph? Yep. This graph is not infinite, so you can't see back to day dot, which is the reason why we need to go in and, I guess, extract the figures out of this and put them into a spreadsheet so that we can see infinite numbers of figures. The graph is a really handy function to see how your uni level and your Fast Start's going. So I'll show you a couple of things here. So obviously we're on year 2018. If you go back to year 2017, it'll update. So there we go. So there's 2017, and that just shows you, I guess, how much our income has changed. So back in early 2017, uni levels was quite low because we had a very young team. And as you can see, the uni levels just trended up and up and up. And I guess that sort of shows people that, you know, okay, you might be back here in this stage at the moment and wondering, oh, when's this uni level going to kick in? And believe me, it does kick in. As your team grows, as you work harder and grow your team, and other people grow your team as well, you can see that trending up and up and up. So if we go back to 2018 again, pretty obvious what that button does. Now, primary and secondary. So primary is your uni level and your bonuses and leadership pools. And secondary is your fast start. So you can see here, fast start really fluctuates up and down quite a lot for us anyway, and I'm sure it does for everyone else. And it's really uni level is a focus of how much effort you're putting in immediately, I suppose. So if you're doing lots of workshops, there's a big spike here. When's that? The 21st week of 2018. So it was about halfway through 2018 in July. Maybe we did some workshops, or maybe one of the people that we enrolled, one of our new enrollers, did a lot of workshops themselves and enrolled people. So don't forget your uni level. Your fast start is based on three levels down from people that you've enrolled. So that may have been our workshops, or someone who's very close to one of our personal enrollments doing a lot of workshops. And it does fluctuate up and down a lot. So what you can do is you can obviously see down here in the graph that you can pick up your fast start per month, which is your earnings over here. Sorry, don't worry about the withheld amount. It's the earnings column here. And those numbers there relate to, so that's week 1 of 2018, week 2 of 2018, week 3, and so on and so on. So what you need to do with your Excel spreadsheet is week 1 of 2018 is obviously the first week of July. So that goes in first week of July, and then so on and so on and so on. So if you're not sure which week 9 is, then you need to go back to your spreadsheet and just work it out. So yeah, really handy to transpose those back into your Excel spreadsheet, because ultimately these will drop off the back office. So let's go back to primary again. Now what you can do is you can click on a particular month on that graph. Just click on the little button there, which, as we can see up here, well, I'm pointing at the screen with my finger, but you can't see that, can you? You can see over on the left-hand side of the screen there, above, next to earnings, it's set. That tells me that that's month number 6 of 2018, and the volume, the payment for that month was $4,050. So what you can do is click on that button, and it'll give you a little bit more detail. So there's some numbers there that I'll skip over so that you can't see them, because it's private information, and it also tells me the system's busy. Okay, let's get out of that. I'll go back. Now, I've actually prepared one earlier, so I'll just stop sharing that, and I'll go share. Here we go. Here it is. Share. So can everyone see that? It's the screen that's got bonus summary written on it. Cool. So when you click on those little buttons on the graph, these little buttons, oh, you probably can't see that. When you click on those little buttons on the graph, this is the PDF summary report that you get up, which tells you in detail how you got paid that month. So I won't hover over people's names because that's a little bit personal, but I will go down the bottom here to the bonus summary. So the bonus summary at the bottom tells you what your beginning rank at the month was, what your paid rank was, and what your ending rank was. So if you started the month and you were a silver and you went to gold that month, it would say silver, gold, and then gold, for example. And then it breaks down all all your payments for that month. So similar to what goes into the spreadsheet, gives you your retail profit, your member bonus, your uni level, your 3x3. So you can see in this month here, we did get the power of 3 bonus, which was 63 Australian dollars. So it's $50 US. Now that will change every month depending on what the conversion rate is for US dollars to Australian dollars. Sorry, my voice is going hoarse. So yeah, sometimes you'll see that's $62.50, sometimes it's $65, just depends on what the conversion rate is that month. Leadership performance bonus, as I said, is for people above silver. Gives you your total earnings. Other withholdings, that is how much Jess spent on oils that month, and I must speak to her about that amount. And it gives you a net earning. So you don't really need, I guess that is important for the tax man, because you do need to tell him how much you're spending on oils per month, because it is a complete tax write-off. Or sorry, not a complete tax write-off. Our accountant this year said, look, you can't write the whole lot off, because the tax man will say, well, surely you're using some of the product yourself, which we are. But you can write a fairly substantial amount off. I think we wrote off roughly 90% of the oils that we bought, by saying, we're using them as gifts, we're using them as incentives, we're using them as samples, and so on and so on. So once again, not something everyone has to worry about until they get up into higher ranks, and you do have to start reporting your income, but that's something I think that it's worth starting to track once you start to get up towards that silver rank. Okay, so I'll stop sharing that one. So I'll go back to sharing the back office again. Just that one, I think. Cool. Can everyone see the back office again? Yep, I think you can. Yeah, so it's just a matter of clicking on those buttons every month, getting that PDF summary, which comes up. So I just clicked on one then. So you go down there to go download PDF, and I save the PDFs every month so that I've got a history of the details of how we were paid. So, if you ever did get a question from the tax man, you can go and grab all those PDFs and go, here's the summary, Mr. Taxman, and this is what we got paid. So that's it in a nutshell. Another thing that I have been doing, just looking at the time here, another thing that I have been doing is tracking our BOGO, and this is probably handy for people as well. Actually, I need to stop sharing that. Sorry, I keep forgetting that you can't see my screen. And I'll show you my BOGO tracking spreadsheet, which I can share with everyone as well. So this is the BOGO for June 2018. Now, I've hidden the names of the people, but what I do is I just track our volume every day in BOGO. So I can tell you that column 1 is our total team volume. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5 are certain people in our team. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are certain people in our team that I just like to keep track of what different legs are doing, and if one leg is really strong on BOGO and one leg is a bit weaker, or if we do a promotion in one leg on BOGO on a certain day, what that does to our BOGO volume. So it's just a bit of an information thing really to see what's working and what's not, I guess, as far as promotions go. It's certainly not, it doesn't tell you 100% that yes, that promotion worked. But for example, if, let's say here at the end of, let's have a look at the end of day 2, for example. I know that in this leg here that went to 113%, we did a little promotion in that leg on that day. And whether that growth, which is a little bit higher than all the others, whether that is attributed to that little promotion that we did, I don't know. But it could be. That's, I guess that's all you can say. So what I do is, under each of these person number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, I just put in their pre-BOGO volume. So I just go into the graphical tree every day, and I click on person number 1, and I go, oh, what's their volume? And I click on person number 2, what's their volume? And at the end of the day 1, I click on their volume again, and it just gives me a little growth rate for our whole team and for each individual leg, just so you can see how different legs are going. And as I said, if you do little promotions, you can track that. So as you can see, we're up to day 3 at the moment. Look at how awesome the figures are for BOGO. Like after day 1, our team volume grew by 111%. So that's an 11% increase in your pay in one day. After day 2, again, you got another 9% increase. After day 3, another 8% increase. So that just shows you how good BOGO is for your teams. It's basically growing your income by 10% every day. And yes, okay, it might drop off at the end of BOGO, but BOGO is something that we really need to be encouraging our teams. I mean, it's not only is it great for us, but it's great for them as well, because everyone's getting, well, this week's been more expensive oils for free if you buy a cheaper oil. So it's pretty awesome. And Jess said something to me fleetingly tonight, but she saw a post that doTERRA sneakily, or accidentally, I think, put up earlier and then pulled down. And I think tomorrow's BOGO is going to be freaking awesome. I believe it's buy one thing or one pack and you get 2 oils for free. So I don't know whether you know more about that, Katie, or not, but Jess tells me tomorrow's going to go off with a bang. So people are going to get on there and it's probably going to sell out again. So, and I guess if you look back at day 1 here as well, day 1 didn't sell out, I believe. So we had quite high figures on day 1. Day 2 sold out, so it dropped back a little bit in percentage. Day 3 sold out. I know did today sell out? I don't know. I can't remember. I didn't look at the numbers this afternoon. But, so it dropped off a little bit when things sold out, which means maybe people are buying after work or whatever and it's sold out, so they missed out. So once again, it's sort of, you can look at the numbers and read into them what you can, but you can look at it and go, okay, we need to encourage our people to get onto BOGO as quickly as possible so that they don't miss out. And it helps our volume as much as we can as well. So if anyone wants this spreadsheet, I can obviously get rid of all the names out of it, and you can put as many names across the top as you want to, and you can track your own team's BOGOs for next year. That's fine. I don't mind sharing that at all. And similarly with that other spreadsheet that I acquired from Ura or Paul, I don't know who I got it from, but if anyone wants a copy of that, I can certainly send it to you. It was their free information. They had no problem giving it out, and I'm sure, and they have said at previous trainings as well, that they don't mind us giving out their spreadsheets as well, because they've given them to us under free information as well. So yeah, if anyone wants a copy of that, just give me a yell, or you can go onto urapaauckland.com, I think it is, and he's got all these spreadsheets there, but it's, yeah, the same spreadsheet. So that's how awesome, I guess, the culture is in doTERRA as well. People who set up these income tracking spreadsheets, and I could sit down and write that spreadsheet. It'd probably take me a couple of hours, but someone's already done it, and they're more than happy to share it around with people, which is just the culture of doTERRA. There's no our team and their team. It's all, if someone creates something, they're more than happy to share it across teams. And Jess is doing the same thing at the moment. She's doing a cross-team, she's doing a cross-team Diamond Club chat tonight. So someone else from another team has asked her to do a little presentation to their team to help their Diamond Club participants this year get ready. And she are more than happy to do that. It's not a culture of, I did this and I'm going to keep this for my team. It's just such a sharing culture, which is great. So she's doing that now. She said she was going to be finished in 10 minutes, but she's been going for 40, so she's obviously rabbiting on as much as I am. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. So I'll hit stop on the record.